Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. This is going to be a super exciting video as we are going to be riding a lot of ferries, 3 of them in fact, traversing 4 different counties and traveling over 100 miles and 7,000 feet of elevation to do what I like to call the Triple Ferry Imperial Century. So this ride I'm doing together with the ABC Club that I've mentioned before. More details in link below, but we are going to be in for a long one today, so buckle up and hope you enjoy all the beautiful sights that we're going to see. Right now I'm on the ferry heading to Clinton from Mukilteo, and then I'm here with the group and we're gonna ride across Whitby Island and then ride all the way towards the Bainbridge port. So follow along and let's see what it's like. And as is typical, arriving at a Puget Sound ferry dock, your ride is going to start with an uphill. And overall, this ride is going to be pretty much just rolling hills all throughout. I'm going to definitely cherish the uphills, as you're going to see a lot in this video. And this route wasn't actually originally drafted by me, so I'm excited to really follow along and just see new places, see new things. So we're starting out here, and yeah, we're even taking some of these back roads I haven't experienced before. We have a total of about 13-14 riders, and yeah, just making our way through and then riding a lot on these roads on the side of the island, perimeter of the island, which I had experience before during the Tour de Whitby. I made a video also on that, which you can go check out, but it's really an awesome ride. All right, we're here on Whitby Island and I see this little chicken coop farm built thing. Really interesting. I haven't seen one just out in the open, just heard the noises, but we're gonna keep on rolling now. And we have a good line rolling across these roads. Really calm, really nice, well paved, and Tron's over here. And here's a good example of why I love riding on Whitby Island. You get these sweeping sort of roads that just are next to the water, super well paved, and then there's a hill right here which gets me super excited. This one's probably the steepest gradient that we find on the entire route. It's not super long, but you can see the camera started to shake violently as I'm just eager to get over this hill. And yeah, this is not the riding style I recommend for everybody, but it's sort of what I do once I encounter those super steep gradients. But soon we get over this hill and we're just greeted with even more views of the water. So yeah, definitely recommend this. I think like this is really representative of like what you can maybe find in like the sort of central southeast part of the island. But we're gonna make our way towards the west side of the island at Coopville Ferry Dock. And going there, we are going to need to use the State Route 525. So here's what it looks like as we just keep on rolling. All right, so we're here on, deer sighting. Tons of deer here on Whitby Island. Managed to find myself alone again somehow. I got dropped on one of the descents, but I'm on the state route right now. It's at least there's a wide shoulder, but this is part of riding on Whitby Island. You will experience this, but a lot of the nice roads is on the sides. There's a lot of nice rolling hills without too many cars. So, but let's keep going. We're about pretty close to the next ferry terminal. And just in time, these 3 came by and just picked me up as I just was able to get on their tail, and really just bless this group for really bringing me along. My experience as a rider is gonna be really different from most people because my weaknesses are on the flats and the descents. So really any help I can get there is gonna go a huge way for me as a featherweight rider. And I've been just blessed with friends that do that for me. But really, I just also want to show here an example of what happens to me on a descent. There's a very low chance for me to really keep on someone's tail unless I'm really tucked in right behind them. As soon as there's any sort of gap that opens, the weight differential just carries the other riders all the way through, and I'm just left there just looking on. But that's quite all right with me because it also actually matches my personality overall of how I enjoy my cycling. As someone not from an athletic background or cycling background, I really didn't enjoy riding fast, and that was something I had to learn to do, and now I do enjoy it in very controlled cases. But anyway, we now get to one of my favorite parts of Whitby Island, Ebby Landings Road. But I just love the views here just because it's like so open, like versus everything that we've been doing. This definitely is a super big highlight. The ironic thing is that both times I've been here, it's been cloudy. Last time I think it was actually rainy, but you know what? still love the views. So we're just very, very short to the ferry terminal, and we be there soon. And look who it is. It was the people in front of me, and they're stopped here to fix some mechanicals. Someone flatted both their tires, but that's quite all right because we have a huge group with tons of spares. Never forget to bring your spares, as well as never forget to roll over that like button and subscribe. This video is going to be really great, and you don't want to miss the other ones just like it, as the summer season is really starting and there's a lot more to come. Alright, we're almost at the second ferry terminal, and then we're here just having a party. No, just kidding. We're fixing some flats, but you can see our whole crew here.
Haven't had a party this entire time.
It's been a party this whole time, but yeah.
Exactly.
Alright, so it got fixed, and then we're off rolling again. So this is our whole group. And we make it to the ferry terminal with time to spare. It's worth mentioning to definitely check out the schedules, because not all the ferries are very consistent, plus there's always things that come up. Okay, we're walking on to the next ferry now. We're Old Kennewick, heading out towards Port Townsend. And all the ferries are super accommodating of bikes. Here you see us sort of just walking on. And this ferry in particular was very interesting because there's stairs and then this bicycle ramp, as well as you would see it, bike racks. So I thought that was super cool because it's super convenient as we head off and we start sailing, or I don't know what the proper term is because I do not really know boats, but very soon after we make it to Port Townsend in Jefferson County, and this is my first time here, so it's really great for me to experience this and see just all the people walking around as we get off the island. And as you can see from the sky, it's actually now noontime, so we're gonna all head out for our lunch break here. We're at this restaurant, Fulfilling, and I'm eating a banh mi, so definitely a lot of carbs, and then let's eat and then roll out again. So after enjoying this delicious banh mi, we start heading out as a group again, and this is now turning into a beautiful day with just a ton of other cyclists all around here and people just enjoying the city. We are rolling as a full gang after lunch, ready, raring to go. And we actually transition on to what I would say is my favorite part of this whole ride, mainly because of just how scenic it is, which is the Larry Scott Memorial Trail that starts right here at Port Townsend. It's sort of this dirt trail with gravel, like very crushed gravel on top. Everyone's on road bikes with pretty thin tires, so it's really quite fine. But yeah, you can already see the view here mixed with the beautiful weather we're now getting. It's a really awesome place. I'm just a sucker for all these open views, and especially here, if you can get really intimate with the water, it makes it that much better. And we're just all here as just one big gang enjoying the sunlight and everything. And even there's this like Trails Association just giving people info about the trail as we just keep going along here. This trail goes for a lot longer, but we're basically just taking this detour to enjoy this scenery. It does change a little bit at times. We keep going into a more typical forested type of area, and then I think as we just keep on rolling here, we even get to sort of sections where it's paved. So definitely would recommend this trail for all of you to check out if you're in the area. There's just so many people out here biking. But yeah, sooner or later, we're gonna make it on back to our main roads as we start the main section of the ride, 50 miles going towards Bainbridge Island, of course, to take the ferry back to Seattle. And you can tell by the roads already, it's a lot different here. There's a lot more traffic as we're basically riding on all the key routes that cars use to get around here. So definitely be careful, and here we're even making a left turn, but it's super well warranted because we're using it to get on those less busy side routes. So yeah, definitely watch out for cars, but it is quite doable, just not nearly as comfortable as probably what we have been experiencing before. And the stars now aligned as we managed to get a good group of us all in a pace line. I'm here probably in the 5th or 6th position, and you can't imagine how much effort you save when doing this. It's so effective for a super long ride, but a wrench is about to be thrown in our plans. As you can sort of see in the distance, there's a gradient headed upwards. So I thought that this was just sort of a funny clip because it really just illustrates all the different types of riders there are in cycling, and it's perfectly good to be any one of them, because I don't really talk a lot about sports science in particular on this channel, but really everyone has different strengths, and I think a lot of how that plays out is the duration in which you can put out the power, what you specialize in. So some people can really sprint really well, and I am not one of them. I cannot catch up a lot to start, but give me a little bit more time, and with this hill, I'm slowly making my way up. But I don't catch the first guy, but nonetheless, I just really love hills. But we get over to the top, and we're starting to encounter some more views again of the water. Instead, we're on the other side this time of Whitby Island. And as you can sort of see, the route sort of changes here. Definitely, the road just gets narrower, as well as the shoulder. The speed limit's lowered, but also it becomes super hilly. So I end up finding myself in a bit of a breakaway by myself, which is probably a good thing because I brought my Defy today, i.e. my old carbon bike, and the rear brake for whatever reason was not working super well. So I wasn't having didn't really want to be descending super fast with other people around me. It was definitely still safe to ride, especially with the front brake there. So anyway, we do definitely just make our way with that, and there was really just a nice time here for me to just enjoy the sights by myself. I find myself really surprisingly, maybe to some of you, like I do find myself like more of an introverted rider a lot of times, because that's really what got me into cycling, just being out there by myself, finally just sort of unplugging and just taking in all the scenery. So being able to do that here, finding that time is really, really great. As yeah, we crest over this nice hill, and there's just so many things to see around as you just roll down and just see all the Puget Sound in its amazing nature glory. So I'm a little bit ahead of the group because there were some big hills just earlier, but this is the Hood Canal Bridge that we're gonna ride over really soon. It's just a shoulder sort of road, but yeah, beautiful day today. Check out that water, and just here on that side, that island peninsula over there. It's so nice today. I'm definitely cooking, wearing too many clothes, but yeah, looking forward to head over yonder to get to back to Bainbridge Island and back to Seattle. And definitely this actually is going to be my first long ride of the year. Last year I had my Everesting and other super long rides already planned, but this year's been quite busy, so I haven't been able to get to those. But it turns out I was quite alright. I think mainly due to experience. I know making sure that you're well hydrated, and also that you just have a good intake of carbohydrates. That's the two key things really to be able to do these sort of things. And also, if you've had experience in the past with long rides, I find that actually also carries year to year. Like your body sort of gets back into it a lot quicker. Sure, you might have to work your way up back to summer fitness, but my experience is that it sort of carries over. But anyway, I'm just gonna wait for the rest of the crew until we're gonna keep on going. All right, here we observe a pack of cyclists on the side of the road. Here with the busy highway, they're waiting to cross so that we can all make it across the bridge. So as we start rolling over there, for this bridge, it's interesting because earlier they had this big sign that was saying that like if it's flashing, there's severe side winds. So definitely pay note, because all you get is sort of this shoulder. Admittedly, it's pretty wide, but also there's debris, and you can see here, I almost got caught. Only the right section of it is like paved. Otherwise, it's like for the drawbridge, I think the middle is like great. So yeah, once I noticed that, I was fine for the rest of it. And honestly, yeah, it is pretty wide. So on a normal day, you should be more than fine and comfortable crossing this. But again, the views here are awesome. I was a bit nervous, of course, so I couldn't just show you sort of panoramic view, but it's really the same ones that you really get to see pretty often, of just all the nearby sort of islands. And then the if you're looking backwards, you can sort of start seeing some mountains and different things like that. So as you approach the other side, you enter Kitsap County. This is the fourth county you've been on through this whole route. I find that so sort of amazing that you can just explore this many different areas. But you also enter State Highway 3, which is probably the worst section in terms of riding quality on this whole route. So just want to show you what that's like. It's sort of like Highway 30 on the STP, where you have these really clear sort of shoulder ruts, and you're just sort of stuck in there, and there's like a ton of traffic going by. But thankfully that doesn't last all too long, as we eventually turn off again onto some side roads, and we're greeted with this beautiful nature with just a lot less people all up again as we're headed towards Paulsbo. Hope I said that right, because I am not a native Washingtonian, so sometimes I get these things wrong. And as we get here, there's just a ton of people all around. It's a beautiful day, and something I really want to mention is that for this route in particular, it really passes by a lot of attractions and towns, so you could really break it up into multiple days, and we ran across a cyclist that did precisely that. So I mean, with how we did it, definitely this would serve as extremely good STP 1 day training, maybe even a little overkill because it is super hilly. And you probably need to account for a full day for this route just because you are taking 3 ferries, so there's 3 sort of schedules you gotta work with and boarding. But all in all, definitely it's so worth it for all the different things that you see, and I love it that I got to finally explore more of this whole area. It definitely takes time and investment always to find time to ride around like this, but when I get the time to do so and with a fun group, there's nothing like it. So anyway, getting back onto the route, really there's just this one last section which I don't have a lot of footage on, probably because I was super fatigued, but it was the bridge crossing over into Bridge Island here at State Highway 305. It is noted for this bridge, you can see there isn't much of a shoulder. There was a sign back there that's supposed to light up if there's bikes, but really you just gotta look out and then just ride across. I mean, cars are polite enough not to pass you here. There's no room to pass. So just take this time, enjoy your final sights, as the rest of this ride is really honestly sort of cookie cutter and just the big road with a shoulder on the side. So these last 8 miles sort of went by in a blur as I was just trying to make it back as soon as possible, and it was sort of like a steady gradient up and down. And yeah, all I was thinking in my head was just to make it on the quickest ferry back. And then with the sort of good luck of just how things worked out, we actually managed to be the final boarders of this 4:45 p.m. ferry. So we started this whole thing leaving from Seattle at like 6:30 a.m. So it all just sort of snuck on, and it all really worked out. But yeah, didn't have much footage for this last part of the ride. All right, the ride ended in a super big rush, but we made it back onto the ferry, and we're heading all the way back to Seattle where we started the ride. So all in all, I still have a bit to ride to get to my car, but it's gonna be about 120 miles all up. So comment below what you thought of this route. I highly recommend for all of you to try it, and as well as definitely just make sure you're out there riding and riding safe. So I'll see you all in the next video.